Well. I guess we got a little bit of controversy going on here. So my latest video, Steam just won the console wars. Let's just take a look see at the like to dislike ratio here. So we have about 9 likes, right? But 9 likes, we have 12 comments. Of course, some of them are not really related to the video that much. Like, I already warned, bad audio.
PlayStation won the console wars? Think again.
But what I'm trying to get at here is that some people are still glazing the PlayStation. Now, I just want to bring it up right now. If you seriously owe an allegiance to a console and you're saying, oh, well, Steam sucks because I've grown up with PlayStation or I've grown up with Xbox, and let me just tell you this. You're afraid to come out of your shell, right? You're afraid to not reminisce on your nostalgia. The only good argument that I see for Steam, against Steam, of course, is the pricing. Let's take a look at the price of the Steam console. So it's about $700 to $800. All right, that's pretty good. Let's see the price of a PS5. So for the best top-of-the-line PlayStation 5 Pro console, it costs about $720. For a bundle, about $988. They are saying that the Steam console is the same price as a PC. But a PC, to run good quality games like the Steam console, the price of a good PC, let's just do like decent specs, alright? Like gaming PC price. Well, for desktops, obviously it's going to be cheaper, but let's do like a laptop. So for gaming laptops, you'd have to pay like $2,000, roughly. That's a lot of money, alright? But the thing about the Steam GameCube is that unlike Xbox, unlike Sony, right, is the fact that you can play the games that you play on your PC already, on your Steam that you already own, on your Steam Cube, right? Now, I'm not going to say I'm completely advocating for the Steam console, but if you're able to play on all platforms, like of all devices, all of this is cross-platform, by the way. You can probably play Oh Sir on the Steam GameCube. You could probably play Oh Sir on the Steam Deck as well. Now, I do have a couple of criticisms about Steam, and that's got to be the controller, right? So let's just take a look at controller. It's not this one. It's like, yeah, it's this one. My one concern, which I mentioned in my previous video, is that it just does not look, it just looks too fat. They need to make this part of the Steam controller, they need to make it detachable, okay? They need to make it detachable, or just not have it there at all. I think this has a good use. Like, this could be used as a cursor, maybe. I don't really know what these little pads are, but they need to make this part detachable, in my honest opinion. So, because I don't need to use a fat controller. Like, we take a look at an Xbox controller, right? It looks, the gripping looks nice. Like, you know, it looks comfortable. And we even take a look at the PS controller. This looks, honestly, the gripping, it looks better. Of course, it's smoother on the edges, so I'm not really a big fan of that. Your hands will probably sweat on it, but I'd say, like, as far as like comfort-wise, you'll get more comfort out of these two controllers. Aside from the controller, if Steam just fixes that one little thing on the controller, Oh, and if Steam somehow does not allow any console drift of any kind, that'd be pretty awesome. Also, I'm pretty sure with the Steam console, because let me just search this up for a second. I need to get the facts. Okay, so it's not open source, but okay, the thing with any console is that this controller problem, it's kind of not even a problem if you like to play around with tech gadgets and you get yourself like a Raspberry Pi. Or you get something like a Raspberry Pi and you can make your own like peripherals or whatever, like a PlayStation controller. You could easily solve this problem and just like use a makeshift controller, which I actually have, by the way. I have a makeshift controller. I just don't have it on me right now. It's at a different house. You can use your own makeshift controller and just implicate all these like little instructions, because the entire point of Steam is that you're supposed to be able to play your PC games on the console as well. Now, in my honest opinion, consoles in 2025 shouldn't even exist. The reason being is that you can literally do all of this on a PC. Now, I think the controllers should exist because the controllers have a really cool layout for, how you could play. But I think if we're not going for retrospective games like the 64 games or the Sega Genesis or the Atari or whatever, we don't need consoles. Like, away with them. The only consoles we need are the ones that are nostalgic. But aside from that, we don't need any more modern consoles. We could just do everything on PC. So instead, Xbox and Sony, well, particularly Microsoft and Sony, they need to work more on computers and their gaming functions. If they create, I don't really know a lot about this, but they need to create their own gaming computers, not just OSs, but they need to create their own gaming computers that can run high-tech games. And Xbox, you need to do away with the whole subscription stuff. I am completely done with paying for Xbox just to play online with friends. I think it's very stupid because you have to buy the Game Pass just to play with your friends. That doesn't make any sense at all. You shouldn't have to. To play with your friends, keep in mind, Xbox is owned by a massive conglomerate that's worth over $1 trillion. They don't have to make a subscription, but they do it anyways. They're greedy. I am completely tired of this. They need to make all online gaming completely free. If you already bought the games and you own the games, you should be able to play with anybody you want that has the same game. You don't have to add a subscription. If you're that rich, if you're at that level that Microsoft is on, Microsoft is basically number 2 to Apple. Last I checked. So they don't have to do this, and they don't need to do this. So don't do it. Gamers don't want to pay to play online. Gamers don't want to pay for a bunch of games they didn't want. They want to buy just one-time purchase on the games that they actually want to play. That's it. Xbox is going to collapse because of this fatal mistake. If they don't listen to my advice, or literally to anybody else's advice, because we're literally screaming at Xbox right now. Xbox is not listening to us gamers, and therefore Xbox is going to collapse soon. Everybody will eventually move over to Steam and PlayStation. Nintendo won't be affected because it's not really their situation, right? So after the migration of PlayStation and Steam, pretty soon Steam will have a monopoly over gaming in general, and that's when Nintendo will eventually start to have to worry, and then PlayStation will eventually collapse, but it won't be nearly as bad as Xbox's collapse, and then eventually everyone's just going to be playing on the PC, unless if they're going to be playing nostalgia games on older consoles. And of course, arcade machines won't really be affected much. That's pretty much all I have to say. Enough with my app session. I'll see you all in the next time.